GSL.
Welcome back to the GSL Code A. We have 2 Protoss players, and one is about to get out of Group J here and be our first survivor here.
Yep. And I like that you keep using the word survivor because these groups are pretty life and death for some of these players, especially some of our less known players and some of our teamless players. Their player like Pet, for example, really needs to get out to prove himself because otherwise he seems pretty irrelevant otherwise because he never gets picked for Pro League. He's never in any other televised matches.
And think about this, if he gets farther in here, then he would be picked for Pro League. I mean, it would pay off in dividends. Now we've got a PvP. A Squirtle here, a old school StarCraft II player. He's been around for a long time, really trying to re-solidify here and get back into Code S, where all the eyeballs are now for StarCraft II. And then we have Samsung Stork. Excuse me. We have Samsung Stork here. And Stork is godlike from StarCraft Brood War. He has not, I would say, made a major splash here in StarCraft II yet compared to where a lot of people expected him to be. It's not like Jaedong, who's had a lot of success, has really been on the map. Stork's still in the background now. We're going to see if maybe Brood War is just his game as the year passes, or if he's proven that he can evolve and adapt to a new RTS game. Yep. At least new for him, not new in general.
Exactly. And, this is, for some of these players, their final chance, right? I mean, if he never proved himself this year, like, when is he going to prove himself? You only have so much time to stay relevant and keep your fans from another game of the same genre.
It's even another question entirely, which is, how long will he be a pro gamer? Is his time up? Is it time for him to move on to being a caster, a coach, something else? Or is he going to stay here and continue to try to get that Code S title? Anyway, Squirtle versus Stork. Game number 1. Let's go. In the bottom right starting location, we have the water Pokemon. He is
Squirtle.
Always really respected him. To the top left, his opponent in red,
Stork.
This guy, very respected in
how old is Stork now? Do you know?
I'd say like 25 or 26. He's actually not as old as you might think.
Well, he was so good back when he was like right at around 21 or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's like 25 or 26.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's actually not that old, but I think as in esports time, everything seems like it was so much longer ago than it really was.
Yeah,
sometimes,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like if you think about
esports stuff changes so quickly.
When you think about Fruit Dealer winning the GSL, it's like, wow, that was so long ago. But really, it was only like three and a half years ago.
Yeah.
It's not as long as you think. So, let's see how this PvP develops. On this map, taking a third base can be done. It's not as hard as some of the other maps.
PvP with builds, I would say the most forks in the road here out of any matchup as far as how you can open up.
Protoss as a race usually has the most different ways to open.
Yep, that's
in every
very
matchup.
True.
And so in PvP, you get the most combinations. But the way that the matchup ends is if somebody doesn't die to an opener, usually they both go down different paths the same means. There's competition with Charged Zealots, Archons, Immortals, Colossi.
Looks like we're going to have a proxy, by the way, Wolf.
Looks that way. I need to make a Cybercore first before he makes that forward pylon. I think we're going to see Oracles here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Get in there and kill as many of Stork's workers as humanly possible.
And this is going to be...
Now keep in mind, though, Stork is a very perceptive player. He's going to say, wait a minute, there's a pylon missing here.
Yeah.
I spy one pylon with my little eye. But where's the second?
Yeah, to him, I think this is pretty obvious. Can he find the proxy? That's the question. There's the Stargate, of course, going down. He's going to go send that probe to scout.
You have to keep in mind, if he does catch on to the fact that, wait a minute, there's no other probe here. And you can see he's checking every edge of the main. There aren't a lot of other places to proxy on this map. I mean, they're going to be right outside the main somewhere, either at the middle left or the middle top. So Stork should be able to find it if he simply goes out and looks.
Here's
here's that
Oh, he cancels.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty weird. Pretty smart, actually, though. In all seriousness, he checks with his probe and he sees like the mothership core's out, and he's like, "No, you're seeing this."
Well, this is interesting because he followed it up immediately, and wow, there's a second proxy here. Now this is pretty brainy here from Squirtle.
He's gonna hide a Dark Shrine. I'm pretty sure about it.
And this is what's so cool about it is Stork is probably thinking, okay, well, whatever he was doing, he's gonna go back to a normal game. Nope, there's a second proxy.
Stork is checking.
Oh my God, Stork is going to see it. Bam.
This is a sign of a very intelligent player.
Both these guys constantly outmaneuvering each other. This is really exciting. So we have a Twilight Council here as well for Stork. But Stork has to be right now very suspicious. What the hell is this other pylon doing here? I don't see any structures by it. I don't see any structures by the initial pylon. Well, the one that had now killed off over here. So if I'm Stork, I'm saying that's DTs.
Yeah.
Since I don't have any, there's nothing else over here attacking this location, trying to shut down, you know, what he's going for. You would have to assume it's DTs.
He's probably going to add robotics pretty soon, because even if he hasn't gotten all that information, that is obviously going to like make him think it's DTs. The fact that he doesn't know if there's DTs or not means he has to make it. There it is. And there's a Nexus going down for Squirtle. So
not a bad response either. I mean, this is the third deviation from the initial build here from Squirtle, but I think this is a smart move. He can at least use the DTs to try to defend his Nexus instead of doing a quick win here with DTs rushing into the main.
He actually doesn't even chase up there because he doesn't know what's there. He would have maybe been able to kill that Stalker. He's actually sending a bunch of units across the path. Looks like he's just going to do Blink Observer and try to end the game.
That's a great move, too.
Not even just like going to do pressure.
One DT is coming up here now, headed towards the main. There'll be a second DT somewhere warped in to try to save this Nexus over here. I believe, at least. We don't see it just yet.
Doesn't he have a DT? Okay, he's sending the DT into the main base now.
Yeah,
the Observer isn't ready.
I don't see where the other DT is, though. And the problem is the Observer can pop out, and right there, you know, he could just drive out this this DT. So I don't know, man. Stork's looking pretty set here. And you had to keep in mind that while this has all been going on throughout this entire game, Squirtle has been constantly either losing pylons or canceling tech. So the result is Stork is just ahead with more stuff overall.
He's going to have a second overcharge, as his timing isn't like super fast.
And I believe Blink just finished for Stork, correct?
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
He's going to get the core, maybe. Nope, just goes for Stalkers instead. Doesn't want to overcommit here. So there was a second DT, right? No, okay, I guess not. Never mind. Well, this on the edge over here is going to give him a bit of a forward warping point. There's no way he can actually come over there to contest with this tiny Stalker count that he has. He's trying to get an Immortal out. That's really what he needs.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs.
He will hold with the next overcharge, too. If he gets it off, he just has to use it early.
Here's what's nice about this. The Immortal's going to pop right out, and Stork can try to target that down. Now, remember, he does have you know, other Stalkers warping in over here. And if he just gets that last DT, he can get out, warp in some more Stalkers, and I think recuperate and attack in again. I mean, you got to keep in mind how many Stalkers were actually killed off there for Squirtle. And Stork, yeah, I mean, he just remakes. I think the Nexus cannon's almost ran out of, you know, it's almost dried up now. He's going to...
I'd say, yeah, maybe 10 or 15 more seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost gone again.
We can actually start fighting underneath it as long as he micros out of it, like this. He wants to get the robotics if he can. He needs to make sure he's actually fighting the army, though, when it's nearby. Oh, I don't... Okay, he's gonna get that Immortal now. The Nexus cannon is down. He just targets the robotics afterwards.
Yep,
there's just way too much damage.
I think Stork wins from there.
Yep.
GG. Nice game there. Very technical PvP, actually. Well done by Stork.
Just scouting so well and responding to everything he saw and getting the right, accurate responses up.
Yeah.
Squirtle taking a lot of risks, and none of them paid off, so that's just what happens. I like his choice to cancel the Stargate. I think that was really smart. And then Stork was just 2 on top of the DT follow-up.
Yeah, he really was.
Like, I think Squirtle's probably thinking, if he had any other plans to proxy or hide, you think the best 3 is probably not doing it anymore. He's like,
yeah, well, Stork was way all over that. I mean, that's what you get when you get somebody who's got that much Brood War experience.
He's like, Stork is just scouting too much. I don't think I can get away with anything here.
Yeah. Stork, crossing all his T's and dotting his I's back there. No, dotting his lowercase J's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore.
It's pretty serious stuff. Okay, so the next game, the map choice is going to go to Squirtle. We'll see what map that is going to be.
I actually don't, in PvP for Squirtle, I don't really have a prediction on this one.
It's going to be Frost.
Okay. Frost is a map that you often pick in PvP when your opponent catches you off guard with some sort of hidden tech or a proxy or a rush where you're just like, oh, well, I wish the map were a little bit bigger against this type of opponent. Squirtle doesn't strike me as a type to think about it that way, so I wonder if he has something special planned. We've seen sometimes gamble proxies on this map where you hide a Stargate, like cross spawns, and guess where your opponent's spawning location is, and then just, if you're lucky, you have the Phoenixes really close or your Oracle really close, something like that. But I think Squirtle probably just going to try to play a straight-up game here.
I mean, I would not go for the proxies. That was one of the primary reasons why Stork won in that last game. Stork was just on top of it. No surprises in the end. His Blink's done first. He's got the Observer tech. He's got more Stalkers. So I think it's going to have to be a different style of play here from Squirtle if he wants to win this. Otherwise, Stork's going to close this out with a 2-0.